Hello there, troopers, and welcome back to General Kenobi's Bunker. Thank you so much for joining me here on the high ground. If this is your first time checking us out, welcome, thank you, and please consider checking out my channel, General Kenobi's Bunker, where we do toy hunts, toy reviews, lightsaber reviews, helmet reviews, talk about Star Wars in general. Um, and that is also something that we do here in the high ground. This is the live show for the bunker. And we try to meet every once in a while and talk about everything related to Star Wars, whether it be the new shows coming up, uh, new toys, uh, any news that had stood out throughout the week. So, again, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you stick around. Hey, welcome, welcome. So, first of all, can you guys hear me okay? I had a an upgrade to the bunker PC to the Kenobi battle station, and I basically had to reinstall a bunch of stuff. And I'm not sure that I did the audio correct. So if anybody can let me know if you can hear me, uh, please do so in the chat. I don't know if I'm sounding okay, or I don't know if I'm sounding too distant, too low. Like I said, I basically upgraded my motherboard last night, and there were a couple of hiccups here and there, but for the most part, we did okay. So it booted up, so yay. So yeah, if anybody can let me know, hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Like I said, I lost my return audio. That's why I don't have my headphones. So I'm not too sure what I did, but we'll power through. If this is your first time here, this is just one of the many examples of professional broadcasting technology that we use here in the bunker. Jaeger, what is going on, man? Hey, I was checking out your channel. Dude, you are blowing up. I think I saw upwards of 700 subscribers, man. Congratulations. Very well deserved. Um, I'm glad that, posting very constantly has paid off for you. You always do a good job. They're very watchable videos, very short, digestible, go to the point. So I'm glad that you're getting there, man. I'm going to see you at 1,000 in no time. I know that. Okay, so few of the things that we want to talk about tonight, and it's gonna be, we're gonna talk about some of the stuff that I received in the mail this week, and last week for that matter. Um, I want to talk about something regarding Hasbro and some of their policy. And no, don't worry, it's not about their plastic-less packaging. It is something else. So we'll get that in a little bit. There are a couple of new trailer for Android dropped, and that is looking mighty fine. It's coming up soon, and I'm actually kind of excited for it now. Hey, man, yeah. Uh, like I said, congratulations again, man. Seriously, very well deserved. I'm so glad that your channel is taking off like crazy. So, how's everybody doing? Middle of the week. Everybody just going through the grind, I'm assuming, and we're almost there. Hey, we're almost over the hump. So I hope everybody's been having a good week. If nothing else, the weekend is just around the corner. So I hope that you have a better weekend than you have weekdays. Okay, so let's talk about Disney Plus. They have a few things coming up for Star Wars, of course, and I'm sure you're all aware of it, but we'll just cover basics. We have the Bad Batch Season 2 coming pretty soon. I believe it's this month. So, you guys excited about that? I'm excited to see which direction they take the individual characters. To me, that was one thing that was sort of lacking in season one. I always felt that the squad was more of a accessory. It was more of like, if you had a central figure and you put those guys around him, that would work better. I don't know that they are necessarily front and center characters that can carry the weight of a whole show. Um, They did get better. I do admit that. The show looks amazing. Like visually, it is very nice. It's gorgeous. The action is great. Um, the story fumbled, in my opinion, a little bit. And then it was sort of relying on cameos here and there to sort of, prop it back up. But overall, I liked it. I think they're heading in the right direction. So I am excited and hopeful for season 2 of the Bad Batch. I hope that they come into their own. Like I said, the characters. I still don't know what they're trying to do with Omega. A lot of crazy theories out there. That she is a Snoke prototype. That she is Jar Jar in human form. That she is the first experiment to try to have midichlorians. To force midichlorians to create life. A lot of stuff out there. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what direction the story is going to take with her, but I am looking forward to learning that. And like I said, the clones, they're clones. They are supposed to be basically the same. Of course, these guys are not. They are basically the A team of Star Wars. But I am excited to see some of the clones we do know from before, from both the movies and the TV shows, such as Captain Rex. And honestly, more than Captain Rex, I want to see my old friend, Clone Commander Cody, because we didn't part on the best terms, right? After Order 66, and then we didn't really see him that much. I had hoped for a cameo in the Kenobi show, in the live action with Ewan McGregor. That didn't happen. Not really. We did have a 501st clone cameo, on it, but that's about as close as we got to Cody. But I want to know what happens to Cody. I want to know what happened to him. I want to see it, of course, and that's one of the known clones that I'm most excited about. Because again, we know a lot about Rex's history, right? Of course, very intertwined with Ahsoka's history, then with the rebellion, etc., etc. But I want to know what happened to Cody. Is he still alive? Which I assume he is. And did he fold into the Empire? Did he become a renegade as well? All of that stuff. So that's actually what I'm most looking for, is the character development for Cody. And I know he's not the main character, so I don't expect to see a whole lot of Cody in the show, but I do expect some history updates for him. So that's the Bad Batch, and I think we're gonna get quite a few episodes in terms of quantity. But who else? So shortly after the Bad Batch, we will have Andor. And if you're not familiar with that, it is the show about Cassian Andor, the character we got to know from in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Basically, he is a covert operative for the Rebel Alliance. And he's not the nicest guy, because he kind of wants to, do whatever it takes to get a leg up on the Empire. Yeah, exactly. So like I said, I'm looking forward to that. It's not necessarily or just about the Bad Batch. Like I said, I kind of want to see what's going on around them more so than their own characters, if that makes any sense. So Andor is like I said, he's basically a spy, but he's also an assassin. He's a little bit of a thug, an overall shady character, right? But that is the kind of character that the rebellion needs at this point in the story. My understanding is this will take place at the height of Empire power. Not that distant from where we saw Kenobi, in the TV show. Basically, all hope is lost. The Empire controls everything and every system, and the Jedi are pretty much being forgotten. So now it's up to the regular people like we saw with the path in Kenobi. It's up to the regular people to basically stand up and give themselves hope, right? Uh, no fancy powers, no lightsabers, no army, really, just a bunch of people trying to do what's right. So within those ranks comes Andor, again, Cassian Andor. Uh, yeah, exactly right. We get to learn why they call it rebel scum. So that's a very good point, and you're right. I'm actually now I'm very excited to see why that is. And so the again the show is gonna take place over 2 seasons as far as we know, and season one will cover, if I remember correctly, 1 year's worth of story, right? 1 year in the Star Wars story. But then season two is going to accelerate. Season two will cover, I believe, 3 or 4 years. I believe 3 years. So for a total of 4 years, history time. Again, Star Wars history time for the whole show, which is again 2 seasons. So that's going to be interesting to see. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of character development in the first season, and we're gonna see why he is the way he is, and probably see him take on a few shady assignments for the rebellion. And at the same time, we're gonna learn how the empire really is, right? With the everyday people. So I'm also excited about that part. So there is a calendar floating around, uh, supposedly official, from Lucasfilm regarding the episode count and the dates. Let me see if I can show this real quick. Okay. Uh, so it looks like we will have 12 episodes. All right. And episode 1, 2, and 3 are premiering on September 21st. So we are about a month and a half away from that. Then they're basically going to span till towards the end of November. So probably just shy of Thanksgiving by this point. So that's good. Hey, the more Star Wars, the better, I always say. So I'm actually excited to see this show. Like I said, I'm very excited about the history development of the overall of the rebellion. They're gonna cover a period that we just don't know much about, even though we've seen we saw parts of it with Rebels, with the cartoon, the CGI show, but nothing like this. Okay, here we're gonna get to see, I believe, more of the nitty gritty struggle against the Empire. So excited about that, definitely. Cassian, I think the character has a lot that it can offer. Don't even get me started on the possible cameos for that show in that period. Again, it's going to be very close to Kenobi. First of all, it's going to be very close to Rebels, and we know that they got live action actors already selected for a lot of the characters that were first introduced in Rebels, and they are going to be brought back in live action for the Ahsoka show, which is coming later on. And so I think they could very well, make use of those characters for a cameo, even a little crossover here and there, right? So the other one we know, speaking of characters, we know that Forrest Whitaker is going to be back as Saw Gerrera. In case you don't remember, Saw Gerrera, technically we first saw him in animated form during episodes in the Clone Wars season 5, if I remember correctly. He was basically a guerrilla fighter in a planet where Obi-Wan and Anakin were trying to help the regular people establish a rebellion against the Confederacy. Why? Because they could not help them officially, if I remember correctly. They just didn't have the authorization from the Republic to send in the army. So those were interesting episodes for sure. A little bit more mature towards the end of the Clone Wars run, and that's where we were introduced to Saw Gerrera. Then he actually made the jump to live action for the Rogue One um, movie, and was portrayed by Forrest Whitaker, and I think he did a really good job. He was basically a an extremist within the rebellion, right? But he got so, I guess, so extreme that even the broader rebellion, the alliance, didn't want to do anything with him, so they cut him off, right? So he was off on his own in Jeddah, doing his own thing. So we know that that Andor knows about him. We saw that he will make an appearance in the show, which of course opens the door to a cameo from Jyn Erso, right, main character for Rogue One, um, portrayed by uh, Daisy Ridley in the Rogue One movie. So not sure. I haven't heard if she's gonna be there or not, but it would make sense, right? Again, even if it's just a cameo. Um, Although, if you remember at the beginning of Rogue One, she was in prison, so that's where she could be, and that's explained that she doesn't show up because of that. Yeah, exactly, man. Like I said, I'm all for it. Looking forward to it, and so yeah, I think they're gonna do a good job on this one. They have a lot to explore. They have a lot to play with, and they're not necessarily burdened with the weight of a Skywalker or a Kenobi type of thing. Hey, Rolando, welcome, man. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are just discussing some of my expectations for the Andor TV show, and I'm showing here what the episode breakdown looks like for this year, and I think it looks pretty good. It's going to cover us well into the it's going to lead us into the holiday season. So, looking forward to that. Thanks for joining tonight. And so, so what do you guys think? Do you think Cassian Andor is a strong enough character to carry 2 seasons? Because they've already announced there's going to be 2, so they already bought 2, right? Do you think that's, is that too much? Do you think the character will not be strong enough to, make it interesting for 2 seasons? Or do you think, he's going to be just fine? I am leaning more towards he's going to be more of a, how can I say this? More of a lightning rod, right? There's going to be a lot of stuff happening around him, so we will get to see it through his eyes, right? He's going to be like our doorway. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was leading to. So he's going to be like the Han Solo, right? Of this, like Han Solo was in the story for the main movies, for the original movies, I mean, and for some of the for the sequel for the Force Awakens. He was kind of like the the entryway for the audience, right, to follow these other like very grand characters that had this like epic things going on, right? You're absolutely right, Rolando. I think that's a very fair comparison. um, of course, Anders portrayed as more, how can I say it, less funny, more bitter, and a little bit evil. Um, yeah, me too. Like I said, I said it just before you came in. The more Star Wars, the better. But I think in this particular case, it makes sense because they got a lot of story to cover, a lot of a big period of time in the Star Wars continuity to cover, and the more the better, honestly. Uh, I like that we're finally filling up the gap between episode 3 and episode 4, where the Empire basically got to be the Empire, right? Like it got to be the bad guys. It got to be the overwhelming power in the galaxy. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, exactly right. I'm sure Diego's gonna do an amazing job. He's a great actor. He's a great guy. But yeah, I'm also a little bit proud of a little bit of representation, right? Uh, within the Star Wars community and in the overall Disney community. So, what do you guys think if we take a look at the trailer for Andor that's been going around lately? And let me see if this will share the audio here. Let me know if you guys can hear it. Was that guy holding an actual AK-47? I had not noticed that before. Did they go cheap on the
to steal from the Empire? You just walk in like you belong.
That wasn't very Star Wars.
They're so proud of themselves.
Check it out.
So fat and satisfied.
Ah, yes, those nice Imperial uniforms, man.
That someone like me would ever get inside their house.
Oh,
Cassian
looks like he's gonna be in the academy.
The Empire is choking us so slowly.
Check that out. Those are clone
troopers phase
2 still.
What I'm asking is this.
Haulers, it looks like a
Wouldn't you rather give it all?
Always a good
Something
place to find
real.
some raw material.
I need all the heroes I can get.
There you go. That's Saw Gerrera's lair.
Call it what you will.
Let's call it war.
Very nice. Ooh, we got some dropships too.
There's fermenting out there, son. Pockets of fermenting.
Man, we're gonna have some new action figures for sure.
Are you a fish? Or are you a thief? You're slipping.
So I wonder if we're gonna have
I've just been hiding.
a romantic involvement for Cassian. He doesn't seem to be the type, but it would be interesting.
As long as everyone thinks I'm an
On
irritation,
Mothma.
there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really doing?
Was that the former Supreme
This
Chancellor?
is what
I
revolution
just
looks
noticed
like.
that too.
I'm tired of losing.
Yeah, like I said, this show looks gorgeous. Look at that. Yeah, 3 episodes right off the bat. So, what do you guys think? Hopefully you could hear it. I'm not sure if I did that right. But yeah, I'm excited for sure. This trailer just got me, a lot more excited. And I think it's gonna be a good show, of course. It looks expensive for sure. They spent some money on this, no doubt. But there were a couple of things that stood out to me that had not before. Let me see if I can pull up the actual image. Where is it? Okay, so this is like the second scene in the trailer. That is straight up an AK-40, well, like an AK-74 maybe. Anyway, point is that is very Earth-like. I mean, I don't know if this was a shot with like a placeholder and then it's gonna be modified later on, or it was missing, some LEDs or something to make it more sci-fi. But I see like rounds within that magazine, so I don't know. I had not bumped into that before. That's kind of weird. Not gonna lie, was not expecting that. Um, that's interesting. I wonder if anybody just gave the wrong footage to the people cutting the trailer, but that is nowhere near a Star Wars gun. That's straight up a nerd gun. So yeah, that's kind of funky. The next thing, where is it? So is it here? Let's see. So we got this Luthen character that's new, and looks like he's going to be pretty central to the story. But I wanted to so that is Mon Mothma in the Senate. That is the senator from Chandrila, and if you don't know, she's basically the Rebel Alliance, leader, right? And she still works in the Senate during this period of time. So she's like a double agent type of thing. Yeah, man, seriously, I don't know. That was weird. That I did not expect it. Yo, hey, welcome, man. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, never be sorry to be out on a hunt. I did a very quick hunt just before this, and came up empty, but it was good. Actually, I did see the new Black Series Leia in the dress that the Ewoks gave her for Return of the Jedi. It's actually a nice figure. It's a nice figure. Not my particular cup of tea, but a nice figure, nice portrait. I appreciate you, man. So, guys, if you haven't, please go ahead and check out Nerd Affiliated channel along with the Hey Archer channel. My man Archer does toy hunting, reviews, toy photography that looks very, very nice, and a lot of reviews for shows as well. He does trailer reactions. These guys did this trailer that we just saw, I think a week ago when it actually dropped. So go check them out for sure. And oh yeah, so I wanted to see here because I could have sworn I saw. Okay, so I think this guy here, that is the Supreme Chancellor before Palpatine. But let me see if I can get a better view. Come on. Yes. Huh. No, I guess not. I thought that was him, but no. Upon second look, that's not him. Anyway, regardless, this show looks really nice, and by that I mean visually, it looks good. It looks like it's got some real nice and good production value. I really hope they stick to the action and the, how can I say it, the war movie type of action for the show, the way they had it in Rogue One. I'm really hoping they don't water that down, because that was one of the main appeals for me for Rogue One, the movie. And so, what do you guys think? Like I said, I'm excited now. This trailer just hyped me up quite a bit. But it's coming again. 2 seasons. Do we have a strong enough character to carry 2 seasons? We'll find out. Like I said, story-wise, overall, I think we got plenty for the show. But what about our central character, right? So let's see how it does within that setting. Okay, so let me know what you think of the trailer if you haven't seen it, and if you had, did you notice something new like I did on this? What is this? My 4th maybe time watching it, and I had not noticed that AK thing at the very beginning. So yeah, let me know if you guys noticed anything new for you guys. Pause for dramatic effect. All right. So we're just about halfway into the show tonight. Crazy, right? I know. I'm so entertaining. You had not even noticed that 30 minutes have gone by. And I want to jump into something that I've been thinking about, and I've been wanting to show you guys, but It's not until now that I got some figures in the mail that I can more clearly, I guess, show you. And we're gonna grab these two figures here. By the way, I'm working on a massive unboxing, or I should say mail call video, because I had a lot of boxes, like almost 20. So watch out for that video later on. And in there, you're gonna see me open up the box where I received these guys. So first, let me show you what they are, and then we're gonna talk about why they're important. Okay. First off, this is from the game, the Old Republic. We have the vintage collection version of, focus, there we go, Shae Vizsla. Okay, yes, she is a bounty hunter. Yes, she is a Mandalorian. And yes, she is from House Vizsla, even though it's spelled differently. But I'm pretty sure that she's from that same house. So, again, this is based off of the animated trailer for the Old Republic, which is an multiplayer, online multiplayer role-playing game based on the Star Wars universe, but on the Old Republic, right? Like a few thousand years before the movies. I want to say something around like 4,000 years before the movies. And on that same note, and from that same game and trailers, we finally got the Republic Trooper, if you can focus. And you can see there that this one actually says the Old Republic, and it's unpunched, which is nice, right there. So both of them are on an expanded universe card, and let's put up our topic for tonight. So, did I misspell that? Anyway. So basically what I want to talk about is these two figures that I just showed you came out about 10 years ago. All right. Actually, maybe even longer than that. But yeah, it must have been like 2010 period, around there. And again, based on the game that was coming out around that time too. And oh, and by the way, I don't know why this one isn't unpunched. Like, why would you do that, right? I mean, you give me one unpunched, makes me hopeful. I get the other one, not the same. So, in my humble opinion, every figure should come unpunched when you order from Hasbro directly. But that's besides the point for tonight. So, again, both of these figures have come out before. Now, I did not have this guy, the original release. I do have Shae Vizsla in the original release. But here's the reason why I do not have the Trooper. He got expensive, okay? He was upwards of, $100 easily. I saw him go for as much as $250 on a really nice card, right? Now, on Punch, for example. But Shae Vizsla went up even further than that in the secondary market. I think at one point I saw her around like the $300 mark, or the $350, I think, was around the highest that I saw her. So I bought her around the time she came out, maybe a year or two later. I still paid a markup because I didn't find her in stores. I did order her, I think, from eBay back then. I don't even remember. But of course, the markup was nowhere near as what the prices were getting to. So Hasbro decided to reissue the figure. And that's not to say it's the exact same figure, okay? They did improve a lot on the face sculpt for her. And actually, let me pull out my my original release one, and see if we can do a little quick comparison here. I just have to dig her out. Okay. All right, so my version is in pretty good shape. Hopefully you can see that. It's unpunched, expanded universe, and it comes with the offer sticker. Also, with the nice character debut. They used to do that more often, I think. But the face doesn't hold up that great, okay? Especially the hair, if you can see it. In contrast, this new version, right? The hair is different, the portrait as well. The rest of it, minor tweaks in the paint, but overall, I would say same body. But definitely, there's a difference in the portrait and in the hair, right? So, again, this is the original release. Let me see if we got a date back here. 2011. So yeah, 11 years. All right, and we got a reissue. So, yeah, exactly. Well, luckily I had it, on hand. Oh yeah, I love the figure, but I don't love it $300 worth. All right. If I did not buy the original one back then, I would not have it in my collection. Period. I was not gonna spend that kind of money. So, which brings me to tonight's question: what do you guys think about Hasbro re-releasing some of these figures that have gone up crazy in the secondary market, crazy in price, right? Because now we get, you can order multiples of these still, I think. You can probably find them, for I want to say this is under the brand of Gaming Greats. Yeah. So Gaming Greats right there. There we go, focused. What that means, in case you don't know, is that it's a subline within the Black Series and within now the Vintage Collection, where they are grouping the characters based off of the video games, right? And so this guy actually doesn't have it, so I'm not sure what happened there. They kept the same numbering. In case you guys don't know, Vintage Collection figures are numbered, and so it is my understanding they kept the same. VC 101 for the original release. Yeah, VC 101 for the re-release. So that's good. So you don't have to, have them both if you don't want to complete the whole set. But yeah, so like I said, what do you guys think? You think it's a good strategy? How can I say this? I see both sides of the same coin, because if you're a collector, right, you don't want to spend $300 on a figure that looks worse than this one, right? This one is $12 or $13. So, and especially if you're looking to open, right, then it just doesn't make sense. Why would you pay so much for a figure if you're just gonna rip it out and army build or whatever? So, but even loose, like that one's still going for was still going for like $120. But the other side is, I didn't have this guy because he was so expensive. So now this one is maybe a little bit on a different case, because this one doesn't have a portrait, right? So it's just a trooper with a helmet, and that is basically the same as the original release 10 years ago. So no, how can I say it? No real gain if you own them both, aside from maybe army building, right? If you can buy 10 of these with the price of a single original release one. So There are also collectors that are purist, right? And that means they want the first edition. So are they willing to spend that much more? Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I know I wouldn't. Um, for the Trooper specifically, I don't think I would buy the original release anymore unless, I found it for, I don't know, $25 maybe. Maybe I would pay that for the original release just to have it. But aside from that, yeah, no, I wouldn't pay any more than that. Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. Yes, it is. It's a really nice figure. I've always wanted it. We need one in Black Series so I can buy like 10 of those. And same thing for Shea Vizsla. She has not come out in Black Series, so I'm hoping that happens. They are very overpriced. It was just one of those things that it was characters that were not reissued anymore. So that this is the only Shea Vizsla figure that exists, right? Well, the original one. But anyway, in the vintage collection, this is the only one. There's no other version. And same thing for the Troopers, for the Republic Troopers. There's no other version of these guys. So they're characters that were not very, how can I say it, prolific, right, in the story. So it was very, you really needed to know who they were, right, to appreciate them. And so that's where they sort of became rare, right? They were never, in 10 years, they were not reissued. So prices just went up because everybody thought they're never coming back. They will never make more of them. So what's out there is what's out there. And so you're going to have to pay whatever I want if you want to have it in your collection. So I do like that, again, that Hasbro is giving me and a lot of people the opportunity to fill gaps in our collections, right? To get pieces that are updated and better, quote unquote, for the regular price, right? The regular market price, as opposed to paying, exorbitant or crazy out there prices on eBay or anywhere else. But like I said, at the same time, there's people that are very purists. And like I said, on Shea Vizsla specifically, you can tell the difference, right? They are not the same figure, technically. Again, I showed you that portrait, and it's very, very different. So there's definitely going to be people that want both, right? That we're going to want to have both versions. For the Trooper, again, that doesn't apply so much. So Hasbro has been sort of been doing this also on the, before they killed the line. They were doing it on the Hot Wheels Starships collection. There are a few, like maybe 3 Starships that went skyrocketed in price because they were super rare. So Hasbro started actually reissuing them. So I like that because, like I said, some of those were very rare that they just, even if you had the money, even if you didn't care about the price, they would just not come up for sale on eBay or on Facebook groups. They would come out like once or twice a year. So it was hard to get them, even if you didn't care about the price, which I do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not rich. And so I enjoyed that strategy for the Starships, and I'm sort of enjoying it for the vintage collection, because I was not collecting vintage collection back when it was in full force, or back when it had restarted, I should say, around the 2011, 2012 period, right, which is 10 years ago. So I wasn't buying a whole lot of vintage collection back then, and I missed out on a lot of good figures. Hey, Jagger, appreciate that, man. Thanks for checking that. So yeah, guys, if you wouldn't mind, just go ahead and leave your like on this video, so that that helps the channel greatly. So I passed on, or I didn't know that some of these figures existed, and so I missed out on them, plain and simple. So I'm looking forward to some of the re-releases, so that Yeah, the underlay. That's exactly right. Try safe, man. Don't worry. Nothing that I say is nearly as important for you to be distracted while driving. So we'll just catch up later. But I appreciate you stopping by. Um, so there's still one of the first figures I should say that was re-released was the Ahsoka in the Clone Wars card that from the Vintage Collection. That one was released back in 2012, I believe, and that's one of the most overpriced or more expensive Vintage Collection figures out there. That one was probably hit $400, $500, sealed, and like 200, 250 loose. So that one was crazy expensive. And again, I don't have the original release. I think I pre-ordered the re-release just to have it. I mean, I do like Ahsoka, but nowhere near that much. To pay $500 for that figure. No way. So the effect. Yeah, exactly. Don't drive and hunt, man. Oh man, yeah. I hope nowhere near soon, man, because that's a little bit too expensive for my blood. But what I was saying is, when the news came out that it was going to be re-released by Hasbro, the Ahsoka original release prices started coming down. Now they're not all the way down to retail price, right? Like I said, there's always going to be a market for purists who want the original release, the first issue of anything, right? And so they dropped the pre-orders also, and so again, a lot of people. Now here's the flip side of that, because you would think people are happy. Hey, I can buy, I can buy these figures at retail price and fill a hole in my collection without having to pay through the nose, right? Without having to pay 300, $400. But what about the people that were holding on to the original release figures looking to sell them, right? I'm not necessarily talking about scalpers, because zero tolerance for those guys. But I am talking about people who were, maybe banking on making a large purchase, for Hot Toys, let's say, and they were counting on their sealed, unpunched first edition or only edition Shea Vizsla to fetch them $300, right? Basically a straight up trade for one of these for a Hot Toy, right? And now they're worth, a fifth of that. So of course there's been some backlash on that. I never buy toys or collectibles to resell them in the future. If I buy something, it's because I already have a buyer or a trade, or I know somebody that I can give it to as a present, right? Why? Because when you buy toys, right, to hold on for years in hopes that it goes up, that's a bad strategy. Toys are a random market, guys. There's no like real formula to these things, honestly. So collect what you like because you like it, right? Not because it's gonna be worth, $10,000 in 50 years. Who knows, right? It might be worth even less. Just take a look at that Power of the Force collection. They overproduced. They're selling cheaper now than when they were actually in stores. Same thing with Star Trek. Most of those collections are always in the bargain bins at any collectible store. Anyway, that's not the point. That's another story for another day. So, again, this is not worth as much anymore as it was a year ago. Again, I wasn't looking to sell, but I do know people that were looking or holding on to, let's say, Ahsoka, for example, because it's a big character. It's a very popular character now. There's a show coming. There's, she made an appearance in live action. So normally the price of that figure would have just kept going up, right? But again, because of the re-release, they brought it back down. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about that. Again, I'm all for it because I kind of need to fill some of those gaps. And the next one that I'm really hoping they announce and soon is Starkiller. He's actually part of this same wave. He's right there. He is from the Force Unleashed video games. Galen Merrick. And I don't have any figure for him. I actually met Sam Whitaker at Celebration 3 years ago, and I wish I would have had a Starkiller, figure for him to sign, but I didn't because they're still just so expensive. Well, let's get the ball rolling. We are approaching, here the end of the show in a few minutes. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to show you. Besides that, of course. So I went ahead and picked up this guy. Whoops. This is the Obi-Wan Jedi Starfighter from this new collection called Micro Galaxies Squadron. Okay. And these guys are done by, I want to say Jazzwares. Yeah. Anyway, point is that now there's several of these or several ships in the market, and you can see the checklist in the back. But of course, like anything else nowadays, they got chase versions, so be on the lookout for that. The reason why I picked up this one is because it reminds me a lot of the Micro Machines mission fleet. So I think the details they're good. They're not super crazy, especially on the little figures. They're kind of not. I feel that the Micro Machines from 20 years ago were better, if not just about the same. But anyway, these are fun. I love miniatures, so I decided to pick this up, and I picked this little blind box to open tonight. Hey Sal, how's it going, man? Thank you so much for joining us. We were talking about some of the Hasbro reissues for the vintage collection that we are hoping drop down the price on the original release figures, which have skyrocketed into the hundreds of dollars. But I've sort of wanted to do this quick before we end the show. So again, this is the little blind box, and it'll come with a set, which is a little vehicle with a little figure, miniature figure, and of course they how do you call it? They included the possibility of getting a chase, right? Like anything else. I do like that they labeled their stuff. This is the launch edition because they just came out. Come on, focus. They just came out in the market, so some of the first wave ships do have that launch edition. Some of them have, special edition, and of course the chase. So what do you say, guys? Before we leave, let's go ahead and crack this open. Let's see what I got. Here are the possibles. I think, yeah. So there's 8 possible figures or sets, I should say. Sorry, camera not focusing tonight. Well, I should just be thankful that it's actually half working. Like I said, I did a major upgrade to my computer last night. There we go. So they're basically a little figure and a bike, and with the exception of the Chicken Walker Clone Trooper. So let's go ahead. Let's crack one open. I wanted to buy a couple just to do, here, but I only found one. Surprisingly, I'm hoping these are popular because, like I said, I love seeing things like this. I love miniatures, and so I'm hoping that this line, sticks around. Okay, so just gonna pull up. What did we get? Hey, nice. All right, we got a nice Scout Trooper. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I kind of like this ones. Like I said, I always enjoyed the miniatures, and this don't look too bad. And for like $5, this is, oh, it even comes with the little base. Nice. So I'm noticing here that the vehicle actually has some pretty good amount of detail, but the figure does not. Let me see if I can pull it out without breaking it. Well, you know what? I take that back. The figure is not bad. I think it's just bad paint application. Okay, this is gonna be tricky, and I'm sorry if it doesn't. Yeah, there we go. So it looks like the mold has some details. It's just a little bit of the paint. Could have been better applied, but hey, I mean, like I said, for hey, I'm over here. Focus. Yeah, unexpected, right? Hey, gotta keep you guys entertained. And again, thank you for joining me tonight. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with these ones. They're pretty good, and I love seeing miniatures in general, and Star Wars miniatures, all the better. Okay, got about 5 minutes left in tonight's show, and once again, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. Basically, all of you here tonight are consistent in joining me, and I really do appreciate it that you don't let me just talking to the camera and into nothingness every week. So thank you so much for joining me. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping here, and if you wouldn't mind, I do have a new video that I put out today, actually. And let me share that. And so this is our new video. My friend Carlos actually let me borrow his deluxe version 501st Clone Trooper from Hot Toys to do an unboxing and review. So if you haven't, please go ahead and check it out. It's a really nice figure with a ton of accessories, 3 helmets. It's just nice. It comes with a jetpack, and man, this hot toy almost pushed me over the edge. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still thinking about it, to be honest with you. But I can't go down that rabbit hole. That is just too dangerous. So if you wouldn't mind, check it out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments about it. Yeah, that's exactly right, my friend. That is exactly right. Speaking of nerd affiliated, go ahead and check out my man Archer's channel, Hey Archer, and this is where he does his toy hunting and toy photography and reviews. There's also nerd affiliated, if I can find it, which is his main channel. And like I said, these guys, they do all kinds of nerd and geek content. There you go. See, trailer reaction for the Andor trailer that we just saw. They do podcasting. They do, like I said, commentaries on movies. Awesome channel. Go ahead and check it out, please. Also, if you wouldn't mind, follow me on Instagram if you are not yet at general.kenobis.bunker. That's where I post most of my updates and announcements, like when I'm about to go live, when there's a new hunt video or just a new video on the channel. So go ahead and give me a follow there. Also, I would greatly appreciate it if you check me out on TikTok. We are close to 5,500 followers there, which is bonkers. I try to post, fairly often. I'm still trying to get the hang of it. I think it's just an age gap. I'm too old for TikTok, but I will try my best to post content there and keep you entertained. So go ahead and check me out there at general_Kenobis_bunker. And that is for TikTok, please. And the YouTube channel, General Kenobis Bunker. And again, guys, if this is your first time here or this is your first time watching this live show, I appreciate you joining. I hope you come back and check us out on later shows. And in the meantime, go ahead, check out the main channel, General Kenobis Bunker. Again, we do toy hunts, toy reviews. We check out lightsabers. We check out helmets. We talk Star Wars in general. And again, you can always come back here to the high ground where we talk everything Star Wars, like you saw today. We talk toys, we talk Hasbro's policies, we talk new shows, and anything else that's Star Wars related, and sometimes maybe not even that related. All right. So, so guys, hey, Phil, dude, yes, I seriously, man, that one is like, I'm this close to falling into that rabbit hole because of this figure. I spoiler alert, I also got to check out his Captain Rex, which is nice, and I will be posting that video later on. But this one is the one that got me, to be honest. Yeah, crazy, right? I don't know, TikTok just blew up for me and then completely died out. So yeah, I got to make it a point to try to get some of that energy back. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Oof, man, I don't know. That's a tough one, man, because I've seen the Boba Fett ones, in person, and they look really nice. Believe it or not, I'm not that attracted to Mando, to the regular, Din Djarin one, but I only saw at a shop. I saw the heavy Mandalorian one, the Paz Vizsla one, and oh my god, that thing's gorgeous, man. That I don't know why I find that look, like, it just looks amazing. So yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah. So Anakin is really nice. Don't get me wrong. But that Miles Morales, man, that is something else, and I think that's right up your alley. No worries. So articulation was actually pretty good. I have to say that something that not shocked me, that I wasn't expecting maybe, is the weight of the figure. It was not nearly as heavy as I thought they were going to be. This one in particular, though, the deluxe, if you're going to get a clone trooper, get this one, okay? And the reason why is it comes with weapons galore. So if you buy, you can basically make this trooper look like 7 or 8 different troopers, right? With the different combinations. It's got a backpack, it's got a jetpack, it's got the DLC 12, the long one, the DLC 12S, the short one, the rocket launcher, and the Gatling gun, right? So if you have other troopers, you can basically arm them with this guy's weapons. He's got quite a bit going on, and so yeah, this is a good figure. I'm not gonna lie. This is I'm still debating about it because I love the way clone troopers look. I'm more specifically, I love the way Phase 1 clone troopers look. Like the ones from Episode 2. But this one, like I said, being the 501st and with all the accessories, it's just really nice. So anyway, guys, we are just over the 1 hour mark. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream. I just want to thank you once again for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for joining me here on the high ground, talking Star Wars, talking toys, talking Hasbro, which finally, I think I can say something positive about Hasbro with this reissue policy. Yeah, let's bring down, scalpers a peg or two with this, crazy prices for some of these figures. So, hey, Jose, we're just wrapping up, man. Thank you for joining, though. Appreciate it. On the hot toy, on this guy, I'm not sure, man, to be honest. He wasn't cheap because he was the well, they're never cheap, right? But what I meant to say is that this one was the deluxe version, which I think pushed it over $300. Don't quote me on that. So I'm not too sure about the resale. I don't want to look it up because I don't want it to be less than I think. And then I'm like, hey, you know what? It's not a bad deal. Maybe I can do that. So anyway, guys, once again, I know I've said it like 5 times. We're going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you so much for joining me. Go ahead, check me out on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Go ahead and check out Nerd Affiliated, Jaeger 101. Awesome guys, awesome channels, friends of the channel. And thank you so much again for joining me. Check out the video for today. I think the next one's going to be a toy hunt that I'm practically wrapping up. I think I'm pretty much done as of today. So I just got to cut it, make it look a little bit better and post it. So I'm hoping to post that on Saturday. So please come back to the channel and check that out. Once again, and for the final time, thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Yo, have a good night. Be safe.